What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well and staying safe out there. Here in North Carolina, we're kind of dealing with a pretty decent tropical storm, and the rain's been coming down for like 3 or 4 days now. The wind's getting crazy. It's a mess out here. Trees falling everywhere, roads flooding everywhere. It's just, we're trying to get through it. But in today's video, I'm going to be discussing a topic that's been on a lot of people's minds, especially over the past week, seeing the price of silver and all the markets really go down, is are you prepared for the Great Reset? If it happens, when it happens, we don't ever know. We don't know what it's going to look like, but we're kind of going to talk over it today and just give my perspective of, how I'm preparing, and, just let me know down below if y'all are prepared. So we're going to discuss that. Let's hop on into it. So after the recent, dip in silver, we all seen how it dropped fairly quickly, by like $4 over the past week, and it's kind of shook up the markets and kind of stirred up some conspiracies a little bit and stuff. And, it just opened my mind and got me to start thinking about, I really do think, it's just my gut feeling, but I really do think a reset could be imminent, right? Everybody's been talking about it for years, and nothing's ever really happened. But the more the more debt that the U.S. gets into, and the more they ignore the American people, the worse and worse it seems to get, right? And there are a couple things we can do to prepare for that situation if it does arise, because we know, you would have to have no common sense at all to think that a reset isn't coming. You just have to be living in a shell under the ground, right? So really, what's some steps that you can take to kind of prepare and make sure that you and your family are safe if that situation ever arises, right? Well, number one, we're looking at it right here, right? Number one is silver and gold. No matter what happens in the world, whether the economy crashes, the apocalypse happens, whatever, silver is always going to be worth what it's worth, right? It's a valuable metal. Silver and gold, not just silver, but any precious metal, hard asset is going to always be worth something. Everybody's speculating that the dollar is going to collapse and it's just getting inflated into oblivion, which is true. And, what kind of currency is people going to use when that reset does occur? And, the government's going to say, well, we're going to launch in a CBDC, central bank digital currency, and going to be able to control everybody's money. And I don't know about you, but, I'm not too happy about that, and I don't feel too safe about that, right? I like privacy. I like my privacy. I don't like other people to know where my money's going, how I'm spending my money. And that's exactly what they're wanting to implement with this CBDC. And I'm pretty sure they're going to use a reset to implement that currency. So at the end of the day, the number one step you can do to prepare for a reset of that magnitude is stack silver and gold, right? Stacking silver and gold is not just, a store of value. It's also a preparation tool in case the world does collapse, right? Or the economy does collapse. You're able to barter with it. You're able to do trades with it. It's basically your everyday currency eventually, right? When it first happens, it's going to be kind of hell and hectic. But once the dust settles, people are going to be forced to learn about silver and understand it. And then that's when it's going to be very valuable in a barter situation, right? Other ways is, definitely you want to, your different preparation things you want to prep is, food sources, making sure you have enough water, making sure your family is going to be safe and well off if anything like that does occur. So you want to prep for water, you want to have a food storage, you want to have a way to travel, you want to have a way to protect yourself, right? So there's so many different other options that you can stack besides gold and silver to prep for that situation. And like I said in the beginning, we all see the way the world's turning. It's not getting any better, right? You see all these politicians going on the media saying, we're going to make this good, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and nothing ever happens, right? It just slowly and slowly just keeps declining. And, you know, it's to the point now where we're so far down the hole that we can't dig ourselves out of. You know, if you look at the U.S. debt clock, you know, some of the, you know, the interest payments on all our debt is about to be higher than the U.S. military fund, right? And that's incredible. You know, the interest payment is, shit, I can't even remember. I think it's 900 and something billion dollars. I could be wrong. I know it's up there. I know it's up there. And it's just not sustainable, and it keeps moving quicker and quicker, faster and faster. It's not slowing down. And eventually, and I do think it's going to be within my lifetime, you know, I'm 30 years old. So, you know, I really do think in my lifetime and in my son's lifetime, we're going to experience that. So I'm really doing all I can to prepare for that situation. And another thing people kind of tend to forget is they get caught up on, and I was guilty of it at first, they get caught up on stacking, you know, silver and gold, and they forget about stacking cash. Cash is going to be a very important thing to stack as well, even though it's going to be, you know, that's the thing we kind of want to get out of, because it is going to, you know, ultimately fail in the future. You still want to have that in reserve, because that's what people know. That's what people are going to understand when everything first happens. And like I said, you want to be prepared for each scenario that gets thrown your way, right? You want to have some silver. You want to have some gold. You want to have some cash. You want to have reserves of water and food, right? You want to have utensils to protect your family with, right? So that's very, very important. And, you know, the more we can get the word out, the more other people will be prepared and not get caught off guard, which it's hard to believe that some people are still, you know, ignorant to the fact that it's going to happen, right? They're still living in their little fairy tale world thinking everything's good. And clearly it's just not. Clearly it's just not. It's not turning around. The world's not turning around. We're funding a war overseas that we have nothing to do with. We're providing, our tax dollars are going over and funding the Taliban, right? They're getting like $42 million a week from the money that we pay in taxes. So if you just take a zoomed out look of what's going on in the world, guys, it's freaking scary. The southern borders are wide open. We got millions and millions of people coming over each year. Before long, we're just going to be overran and controlled. And that's something that nobody wants. It's something that's not going to happen. For me, I'm going to do all I can to not let that happen to us. You know, again, all we can do is prep and be ready for any situation that's thrown our way. Sorry, I kind of rambled in this video. You know, I'm thinking about a lot of things, because there's just so many different things and avenues that you can think about and prepare for. It's just scary, guys. The world's in a very, very bad place. No matter what politician or which politician says this and which politician says that, at the end of the day, nothing's getting done. You know, everything's corrupt, and the country has really lost sight of what it was built on. So anyway, that's my ramble for the day, guys. I hope everybody is, you know, got that outlook and kind of preparing for what could come in the future. And I know the silver and gold stacking community is well aware of what's going on and are very smart in knowing how to prepare for things and even think outside the box when it comes to preparing for situations. So anyway, I just wanted to come on here and ramble about that for a little while. Let me know what y'all think down below. Let me know, you know, what you think this, you know, reset could look like, right? Let me know how you're preparing for it. I'm very interested to know, because there might be something I'm not even thinking about that you guys know that could really help others. So just leave it down in the comments, and I appreciate it. Before you leave, please hit that like and subscribe button down below if you like content like this, and we will see y'all in the next one.